Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Niner Sickness Podcast. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy Friday. It is Friday night. We're going live, talk a little 49er. Let's see who's with me. Let's see who comes in and joins me on this wonderful evening. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday. The weekend is here. Next week, free agency starts. Oh, man, Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't been moved yet. The whole Deshaun Watson came to light. How is that going to affect the Jimmy Garoppolo trade? Will the whole Deshaun Watson affect the Jimmy Garoppolo trade? How you doing? Let me make this a little bit bigger. Hold on, guys. All right. How you doing, Raphael? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, brother. Welcome. Thank you for wiping your feet. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, everyone. Thank you, sir. So the whole Deshaun Watson. They went on in front of the grand jury and they found him to be innocent of at least the criminal charges part of it. Now, teams are going to be looking to trade for him. How does this impact the value of one Jimmy Garoppolo? Before I go any further, please make sure to wipe your feet before entering and smash that like button for your boy, Niner Sickness. What's up, David McNew? How you doing, sir? Hi, Beto. Wipe my feet. NFL could still suspend Deshaun Watson if they want. Now, do you think they will, though? I mean, the most important part of this was the criminal charges. I know the civil charges are more the people trying to get money. What's a civil charge? People are suing you for money. When it's criminal, then you did something that justice needs to get involved. He was deemed not responsible for the criminal part. So I could think that the NFL could be a little bit generous and probably not put the pressure too much on Deshaun. Tony Smith, welcome to the podcast, brother. Like your new podcast frame around the screen. I just created this last night myself. Let me know your thoughts. I created it myself. I built it last night, late last night. So give me your thoughts on it. I made it for myself. I also made it as if I have a person with me, if I have 2 people, 3 guests, 4 guests. But yeah, I created this whole overlay myself yesterday. What are your guys' thoughts on it? So how's everybody doing? Hope everyone is doing great. I hope you're enjoying your Friday. I hope your day went well. The weekend is here. Wednesday, the 16th, is almost upon us, which is free agency. We've been hearing a lot. I mean, we already know about Russell Wilson. We know about Khalil Mack. We know about Carson Wentz. A lot of players have been cut, released. A lot of things have happened since last Monday. But nothing with Garoppolo yet. The fact that Jimmy Garoppolo has not been traded, should that be a concern? Should it be a concern? The fact that he hasn't been traded yet. Do you consider that a concern? Do you consider that the Niners truly don't have someone that truly evaluates and wants Garoppolo? Or do you think it's more of a, I want to give you this for Garoppolo, but I want this for Garoppolo, and they're just negotiating the terms of the trade? Now, I heard earlier on Twitter that there was a team out there. They didn't say who it was, but there was a team out there that likes Jimmy and is willing to depart with a second round pick. Now, they didn't mention any other picks with it, but they mentioned a second round pick. So my thoughts to you, my questions to you, I should say, should the Niners jump on it? If that's the case, do you think the Niners are going to try to be greedy and try to get more and backfire? What do you guys think the Niners' strategy is? What is their strategy? Sometimes when you want more and you get greedy, you can get burned, or the Niners know they can get more. And I wonder who that team is. If the information is correct and that team did offer a second round, I wonder who that team is that wants Jimmy. And we have to sign our own free agents. We have to make sure that we're going to extend Debo, if not Debo and Bosa. So to me, it's very important. If we're going to move on from Jimmy, the quicker, the better. Do you think Jimmy gets moved over the weekend? Do you think Jimmy gets moved, traded prior to the start of free agency? Do you think that it may prolong all the way up to the draft? Do you think that Jimmy could still be on the Niners roster until the draft? And maybe during the draft week, the Niners negotiate something? Do you think teams were waiting on the whole Deshaun Watson situation? They wanted to see what was going to happen with Deshaun Watson before they made their move for Jimmy. And now that they know that there's no criminal charges against Deshaun, is the waiting game going to be where, okay, let's see where Deshaun ends up at. And if my organization is not one of the places that he chooses, then we can go for Jimmy. Do you think that's what the waiting game is? Hold up. Could this be his agent trying to negotiate an extension? Yes. We should jump on a second rounder. I agree. I honestly agree. You don't want to be too close-minded where if a 2 is offered and you want a first, that you lose out on the 2. You want to take advantage of that opportunity. But I really believe that teams are waiting to see what's going on with Deshaun. Now that teams know that Deshaun, at least the criminal part of him, is over. Now they're waiting to see which team he goes to. Because I know the Panthers are very interested in Deshaun. The Steelers are interested. The Saints are interested. Now, the Saints can't really afford to give anything for him, so they're probably out of the mix. The Buccaneers, do you think one of these organizations is waiting to see where Deshaun goes? And once they realize where Deshaun goes, then they'll go to plan B and negotiate for Jimmy. The whole thing about Jimmy G's not being traded is weird. Yeah, the last thing I want is Jimmy G being on this roster, not because of Jimmy G the person, not even because of his football play on the field. It's because of his contract. His contract is too big. And in order for us to bring him back and renegotiate that contract, that means we need to sign him for a longer time. We don't want to do that either. And if we just straight up cut him, then all we get is a third comp pick for him next year. That means we get nothing this year. And I think the Niners are truly trying to get some type of value for Garoppolo this year. But I don't expect Garoppolo to be part of this organization start training camp. Now, this whole trade can linger all the way up to draft day. On draft day, the Niners can find a trade partner and maybe pull the trigger then. I hope it's sooner rather than later, but I wouldn't be surprised if they wait until the draft weekend. Now, I did hear that Jimmy G had a successful surgery. I believe the surgeon was an expert in shoulder and said that he should be healed and ready to go by the beginning of training camp. And if that's the case, will teams take a chance on Jimmy? I'm curious to see. I mean, if they sign Jimmy for 1 year as a backup underneath Trey, but that's the thing, Tony, he's already under contract. So they wouldn't have to sign him. Jimmy, it's already under contract for 1 more year. In order to retain Jimmy, we would have to pay him the $26 million. Or we would have to negotiate his contract, pay him less, but we have to extend him. This is why I believe the Niners either trade him or they will end up cutting him. But I don't expect him to be on the roster due to the amount that is owed to him. They just can't sign him for a year. He already has a year on his contract. So it's more about finding that right trade partner and moving him on. Also, you got to keep in mind, is the team that takes on his new contract, are they willing to take on his complete contract, which I believe is what the Niners want? Or are they looking for the Niners to pay partial for that contract? And if the Niners can't get a number 2 for Jimmy, do you think that the Niners should at least look into players that they can trade for? You know, look at the Steelers. Who can they trade for? Maybe a Juju? The Buccaneers, who can they trade for? If it ain't for the trade capital, is there a player that the Niner and the team they're trading with can agree on in exchange? Those are the things that the Niners are probably negotiating, but I don't think it's a wise idea to keep Jimmy on this roster for the 2020 campaign. I really think they should find a trade partner and move on from Jimmy. The fact that it's taking this long. Now, another thing too. If it wasn't, you know how the Commanders, the Commanders went ahead and traded for Carson Wentz, and they gave up 2 third rounds for him. Let me ask you, do you think that if Jimmy did not have the surgery, then maybe the Commanders would have traded already for him? Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Now I know what. Give me 1 second. Do you think that if Jimmy didn't have the surgery, then maybe a trade partner would have came up and taken Jimmy already? Do you really think that teams are really concerned about this surgery that Jimmy had? Because he's going to miss OTAs. I think he'll be available to come in training in the beginning of training camp. So a lot of teams could be concerned taking a risk on Jimmy. I hope that's not the case, but we'll have to wait and see. A restructuring of the contract. Yeah, but if they restructure, they're going to have to sign him. They just can't recycle him for 1 year, can they? I mean, unless I'm mistaken. What is going on, Corey? Corey. I was going to say Corey Davis, but it's Corey S. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Make sure to hit the like button for me. I appreciate it. Okay. Who could they trade for? Better number two, for a better number 2 quarterback? Well, let's look at the teams that are available. The Steelers. Let's look at the Buccaneers and the Saints. Now, would the Saints be willing to trade Lattimore? Is that his name? Their corner for Jimmy? I doubt it, but that would be a nice kind of equal trade. Yeah, I agree with you, Tony. I think for a fact that if he didn't have the surgery, there's a possibility that he could have went to the Commanders instead of Carson Wentz. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Without getting crazy with me, okay? Without, thinking I'm crazy with this. I'm just bringing up conversation. We all love Kittle, right? I love Kittle. I know you guys love Kittle. But Kittle's getting older. He does get hurt. He's getting older. Would it be wise to package a deal with Kittle and Jimmy for a number 1 pick? Would you be opposed to packaging Jimmy G and Kittle, let's say for the Pittsburgh Steelers for their number 1? Or no, I'm sticking with Kittle because Kittle is just too valuable to this team, and Trey is going to need a tight end like Kittle as he continues to move forward in his learning process. Curious to get your thoughts on. We just signed Suffield to the next season at $2 million, which makes me think Lynch and Shanahan has confidence in Trey. I still think that Sudfeld was pretty much signed to be that third quarterback. I still think that they're going to go after a quarterback in free agency to back up Trey. Maybe a Terod Taylor is brought in, a Marcus Mariota. I know Mitchell Trubisky wants to be a starter somewhere. But if there's no openings for him as a starter, would you guys be opposed to having him come and be the backup for Trey? In your guys' mind, who would be a good trade? Who would be a good trade to get as a backup quarterback? Thank you, David, for getting rid of that pest. Which quarterback out there do you guys feel comfortable bringing in to back up Trey? They can teach Trey how to be a better quarterback. Now, we have Anthony Lynn that we brought in, so a lot of people tie him down with Tyrod. I'm curious. Tony says, I really like Kittle a lot. Think he's really valuable to the Niners right now. Even though he does get hurt sometimes. What's your thoughts? I think we should keep him. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Kittle. Kittle is the face of the organization. He has a great attitude, brings the best out of everybody in the locker room. But he is getting up there in age. Maybe it's not Kittle. Are you guys, wouldn't it be nice to go after Bobby Wagner and then maybe package Jimmy and Aziz or Jimmy and Greenlaw in a package? I mean, it's a food for thought. Do we sign Bobby Wagner free agency and then package Jimmy G and either Greenlaw or Aziz in a package for a higher draft pick? Marcus Mariota and Mitch Trubisky are my two top backups. Okay. And I'm assuming that in that order, right? Javier Rios, what's up, brother? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. How you doing, brother? Vet quarterback Dalton won't cost much and has experience. Huh. That's interesting thought. Andy Dalton. What's the last team he played for? Did he play in 2021? I don't remember if he played. Was he a backup in 2021? Bro, Beto. What's up, Mike H? How you doing, sir? Lance is backing up Jimmy Q for another year, babies. Come on. It's okay to be wrong. It's not a matter of being right or wrong, Mike. It's a matter of doesn't make sense financially. Does it make sense financially keeping Jimmy at 26 for another year? Does it make sense in keeping the young kid that you gave up pretty much 3 number ones and a third and keep him on the bench another year, especially since Trey hasn't had that much playing time in his career? I don't know if it's wise to sit Trey for another year on the bench while we have Jimmy be the quarterback. I think it's important to see what we have in this young kid and just roll the dice. And I know, Mike, that you don't really care for Trey. You like Jimmy, and I can appreciate that and respect that. But keeping it 100, if we do keep Jimmy for another year, that's a lot of money to pay him. And I just don't see the Niners doing that. I really don't. I have nothing against Jimmy. I don't hate Jimmy. But we'll have to wait and see. We should keep Kittle. He's 28 and has 4 good years left. Wow, just 4? You would think he'd have a little bit more. But I hear you. The way he plays, as physical as he is, I can see why you say 4. Javier says, trade Mostert. We can't trade him. He's a free agent. Raheem Mostert is a free agent, and we either sign him back or he goes and signs somewhere else. But he's unrestricted free agent, and we couldn't trade Mostert even if we wanted to. He is free to go wherever he wants to go. Andy Dalton played for the Bears. That's right. Him and Justin Fields kind of alternated a little bit with the Bears. I don't think it's wise to sit Trailer on the bench or on the sidelines for another year. I think we should get a really good second and keep Trailer as the starter. Now, I don't know if you misspelled him, the name, or you just don't like to call him Lance, and you're calling him Trailer. Am I even pronouncing that right? Mariota and Trubisky in that order. I would take Tyrod Taylor or Jacoby Brissett. I don't know where I seen Jacob. I mean, I did see Jacob, but I didn't take the Y off. I don't know about Jacoby Brissett. I guess he would be a good backup. I think out of all the quarterbacks that you just mentioned, being that we have Anthony Lynn as our one of our coaches, that Tyrod Taylor would be a good option. He's familiar with Anthony Lynn. Anthony Lynn's familiar with him. I like Mariota, but I think Mariota is going to cost a little bit of money. And I think Trubisky is going to be looking for a starting job somewhere. What's up, David Williams? Welcome to the stream, brother. The Colts and the Pittsburgh, but somebody said that a team offered a number 2, a second-round pick for Jimmy. Who would that team be? Could it be the Colts? Could it be Pittsburgh? Or neither? Okay. Because, some people don't like Trey, so they kind of give him names. So I don't know if you would just wrote it wrong, because you wrote it twice. So I thought you would wrote it intentionally. But okay, cool. All right, what's up, David? So the whole Deshaun Watson, I'm happy for the young man. I don't know too much about him. It's hard for me to judge him since I don't know him. A lot of people can sit there, oh man, what he did was wrong, poor women. And I'm not saying, I can't speak a lot on it because I don't know exactly what happened. But the fact that they were not able to have any criminal charges speaks volumes onto this whole thing. So now teams, whether they suspend them or not, I don't even think they will. But even if they do, I don't think that's going to hesitate teams from wanting to trade for Deshaun because of the caliber of quarterback that he is. Who has the capital to do so? A lot of people have been saying it could be the Seahawks. But do you think Deshaun Watson wants to go from the Houston Texans to the Seahawks? The Seahawks they don't have an offensive line. They don't have a good defense. They just let go of Bobby Wagner. And if they trade for Deshaun, they're going to get all that capital that they got from the Broncos. They're going to have to give it, if not more, to the Texans for the services of Deshaun. I know the Panthers, the owners, he has been wanting Deshaun. They just want a quarterback that can play quarterback there in Carolina. I think there'll be a heavy team going after. Do you guys know, and this is just my belief, that if the whole situation with Deshaun Watson did not happen, if those allegations, whether they're true or false, did not take place, I personally think that Deshaun Watson would have been a 49er. He wanted to come to the Niners. The capital the Niners gave up for Trey Lance, they could have gave that same amount for Deshaun. But now that we drafted Deshaun and we invested all that capital in Deshaun, that boat has sailed for Deshaun. For Trey. All the capital that we gave up for Trey, the opportunity to get Deshaun, because I've been reading on Twitter, wow, we should trade Trey Lance and other picks for Deshaun. I like Deshaun. Deshaun is proven. But we already have this young kid. I think this kid's going to be special. I understand that with Trey Lance, you're taking a risk. Does he become the quarterback that we think and wish that he will be or not? At least with Deshaun, we know exactly what we're getting with Deshaun. My voice text is, okay, no worries, Tony. No worries, brother. Sea Chickies don't have a good track record on drafting. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade for Watson and sign a new O-line. The thing is this. If they give all that capital they consumed from the Broncos and then some, they're going to have to pay Deshaun. I just don't see Deshaun really going to, who I see Deshaun going to? I can see Deshaun going to either Carolina or Miami. I think Miami could be a location that can take on Deshaun. With that defense, those receivers under Mike McDaniel, it would be interesting to see what happens with Jimmy, man. Eagles for him and Wagner to use Jimmy G to Pittsburgh. Eagles for him. Eagles for him. For who? The Eagles for who? And Wagner to use. Wagner to use. Do you mean Wagner to us? and Jimmy G to Pittsburgh. Interesting. I'm interested to see where Jimmy goes. I'm interested to seeing where Jimmy winds up at. Where will Jimmy G wind up at? And who will give us the best trade value for Jimmy's services? What's up, JR? How you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. Watson to the Seahawks watch. I mean, it's a possibility. You can never say never in the NFL. But if Deshaun was going to Seattle and Seattle was going to continue to be competitive, why would they have cut in Bobby? Maybe they need the money to pay Deshaun. Jimmy G's getting cut. I hope not. Because at the worst case scenario, if we do cut Jimmy, we do get a third comp, but not until 2023. In 2023, we get a third round comp for Jimmy. I want something this year and possibly next year for Jimmy. So, is there a possibility the Niners will cut him? Yeah, of course. I don't think they're going to take on his contract, but I hope they find a suitable trade partner and pull the trigger. The Eagles get J.C. Jackson, and we get Wagner, and Jimmy goes to Pittsburgh. Okay, I got you. Panthers, Steelers, Colts, Saints all need a quarterback. The Saints have a tall task to get under the cap. Now, when it comes to Jimmy G, you can take the Panthers out of the equation. I think the Panthers, I could be wrong, but I think the Panthers, if they're going to get a quarterback, they're going to go after Deshaun. If not, they're probably going to draft one in the draft. Yeah, I agree, JR. The San Francisco 49ers are built. This is why I think we can win a lot of games and make it into the playoffs with Trey Lance. We have the running game. We have great receivers, good tight end. We got to figure out the whole offensive line thing. Are we keeping Lincoln Tomlinson? Is he going to be gone? We got to figure that out. Defensively, even if we lose DJ Jones, we're getting Javon Kinlaw back. Maybe we go after a safety like a Tyrann Mathieu, or maybe we go after a corner. Strengthen our secondary a little bit. And if you can run the ball, stop the run, you put less pressure on your quarterback. And that will help the development of Trey in 2022. I really believe we can win a lot of games with Trey. And if you ask me, To me, Trey is definitely an upgrade to Jimmy G. I think Trey can do everything that Jimmy did in 2021 and more. The only difference is Trey doesn't have that same quick release than Jimmy, but what Trey does have to make up for that lack of quick release is the ability to run with his legs if he needs to do so. So I expect Trey to come in and not really put the team on his shoulders. It's one of those, Trey, you don't have to win the game for us. Just don't lose it type of situation. You don't got to win the game for us, Trey. Just don't lose it for us. Allow the offense and the run game and the defense to bail you out. I really believe that Trey can win more than 10 games with the Niners because of the way the Niners are built. I'm just curious, want to know, I guess I'm anticipating on where Trey is going to wind up at. Jimmy. Where is Jimmy going to wind up at? Is Jimmy going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is he going to the Buccaneers? Is he going to New Orleans? And now that the whole Deshaun Watson has entered into the carousel of quarterbacks this offseason, does that make it harder for the Niners to move from Jimmy? I guess only time will tell. Tackle the thumb up, tackle the thumbs up, sack the subscribe, and stiff arm the notification bell. I like that. I keep forgetting to set it up as a thing. Let me see if I can do it right now. Hold on, guys. Oh, that's big. Hold on, guys. There we go. Oops, hold on. All right. There you go, David. Thank you, David. There you go, David. Appreciate it. Beto said, where is Trey going to end up at? Haha, I always said if Lance doesn't go back to Indy State, he's going to Champa Bay. Champa Bay. I don't think he's going to Tampa, bro. I don't know. I don't know why you dislike him so much, but I think Trey's going to be fine. And he's not going to Champa Bay. Este vato. So what are you guys going to do tomorrow on a Saturday? I hope you guys have fun spending with your family, loved ones, for those that don't have to go to work. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going live here on my channel at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to have 2 guests. I'm going to have Colts Chronicles and 49ers First Take. I don't know if you heard of them, but 49ers First Take and Colts Chronicles are going to be my guest tomorrow here on my channel at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So keep an eye open for tomorrow as I bring my 2 guests and we talk 49er football. We'll talk about the Deshaun Watson and get their opinion of him. I'll ask them their opinion on where they think Jimmy may go, what the trade value they think is good for Jimmy. So you got to tune in to my channel tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as I bring in my 2 guests, 49er First Take and Colts Chronicles. Those guys are amazing. Look forward to bringing them on. Siberia. I know we're focusing on the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Saints, Tampa Bay, the Panthers, and but I'm pretty sure there's other teams out there that may be coveting a quarterback as well. Who knows, David? Maybe you're right. Maybe a team out of left field comes on and just blows the Niners out of the water with Jimmy. I doubt it, though. A lot of people said that Jimmy's going to go to the Raiders to play for his ex-coach, Josh McDaniel. But let's be honest. If you're Josh McDaniel and you already have Derek Carr in your team, and not only that, but you have Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and Patrick Mahomes in your division, do you really want to bring in Jimmy G to compete with those 3 guys? You may argue, but I think Derek Carr is way better than Jimmy. Imagine if the Raider fans will go crazy if the Niners brought in Jimmy G to Vegas, especially when they're facing off Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, and now Russell Wilson. That would be crazy. You know me, brother. I will always support you and tune in and look for you notifications to tune in. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate your love, man. Appreciate your faithfulness, man. Yeah, I'm going to be live tomorrow, God willing, if I'm still alive, first and foremost. And my 2 guests tomorrow at 4 p.m., 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That'll be 6 o'clock Central and 7 o'clock Eastern Time. But 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. And I'm going to have 2 guests. I'm going to have 49er First Take and Colts Chronicles. Both great guys. Jimmy G can't go to the Saints. They are $63 million over the cap. OMG. Wow. They're that bad? Wonder. Now I know why Sean Payton took off running. What a dude, huh? What a dude. Oh, 63 million over the cap. I'm out of here. I'm going to go play golf for a year. Freaking Sean Payton, man. I'm out of here. What are you doing, brother? Welcome to the stream. Make sure to hit that like button for me. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. If you could run your own team, what offensive and defensive scheme would you run? I like the Tampa 2 defense a lot. I love the Tampa 2 defense. And offensively, I'm so used to the West Coast offense with the whole Bill. So I will run the West Coast offense based. Now, if you give me the proper players to utilize those two schemes, then I would definitely do the West Coast offense and the Tampa 2 defense. And I'm not a big 3-4 or a 4-3 type of guy. I think a lot of times nowadays, because of all the great quarterbacks and receivers, you play nickel. Teams find themselves in nickel packages, dime packages quite a bit. So even though if you're a traditional 3-4 or a traditional 4-3, you find yourself in a lot of dime packages where you play 5 D-backs, 2 linebackers. But Tampa 2, brother, would be something that I would do if I ran it. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys so much for joining my channel tonight. Thank you for being part of my channel. Stay tuned tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 o'clock Central, and 7 o'clock Eastern. I will be going live here on my channel with 2 guests. I will be having 49er First Takes and Kurt's Chronicles as my 2 guests. We will talk and I will ask them about our 49ers and get their thoughts on your San Francisco 49ers. Tune in. I'll see you guys tomorrow if you're able to make it. If not, you can always watch the rerun or the replay. But for tonight, God bless you. Good night. Thank you so much for being part of my show. God bless you and good night. Peace.